But there's stories that have to be told. The truth needs to come out. A man lost his life. So much more went on. Physically have seen. But see, when I started talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, oh, some toes will curl for sure. But hey, the truth is the truth.
And they put in the paper that I had pneumonia or God knows what.
The industry is a monster. I'm telling you something that you need to know. I'm trying to explain to you what you're seeing. You don't understand what you're seeing.
Was Dave Chappelle right when he warned us that most of these celebs people idolize are actual monsters behind closed doors? Because this situation with Beyonce's former bodyguard, Uncle Ron, is lining up a little too perfectly. Uncle Ron, who reportedly worked security for Beyonce, Jay-Z, and even Diddy, started making waves online with some serious allegations, and shortly after that, he mysteriously passed away. Now here's where it gets spooky. His official cause of death is still listed as unknown, but word on the internet is that he was diagnosed with pneumonia shortly before he died. And if you've been paying attention, you already know pneumonia keeps popping up in a lot of these suspicious Hollywood deaths. In fact, Dave Chappelle claimed that after he escaped to Africa, they spread rumors he had pneumonia, almost like they were trying to set the scene in case he mysteriously passed away. And what's even more chilling is that some new clips are now circulating of Uncle Ron speaking directly to his followers and warning that the same powerful people he was exposing would try to take him out. So now folks are putting two and two together, connecting this tragedy back to what Dave Chappelle has been saying for years, that there are elite industry players who will do anything to silence anyone who threatens to tell the truth.
Because now they have proof. I have physically showed them proof. Things that I have witnessed, things that was told to me.
Uncle Ron first started making waves online back in 2023 after launching his TikTok series, Tales of a Bodyguard. And in those videos, he claimed he was speaking from first-hand experience, spilling on Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Diddy. In one of his viral videos, he talked about Beyonce and Jay-Z's transactional marriage, claiming that these two will step on anyone to get what they want.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anybody to stay on the top. So remember, your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up.
But Uncle Ron didn't stop there. He went a step further and basically dared Jay-Z to come out and say he didn't know him. And the way Uncle Ron was talking, it sounded like he was sitting on some real receipts, like he knew things, saw things, and had proof he was ready to drop if pushed.
See, I ain't Beanie Siegers. I ain't Freeway. How you wrote all them off the minute they did for you to get you to the top. All them writing for you, and then the minute you get a little taste of success, you wrote them off. You just totally said, I don't know him. Say you don't know me. I dare you. I dare you. Remember, all the receipts, all the proof, the old school footage, I still have it.
Now, if Uncle Ron was just talking out the side of his neck and spreading rumors, would he really be bold enough to challenge Jay-Z like that? I mean, this is Jay-Z. That man has lawyers on top of lawyers who could have shut Uncle Ron all the way down if he was just out here lying and making reckless, false claims. Remember how Beyonce and Jay-Z forced Piers Morgan to apologize just because he gave Jaguar Wright the platform to speak?
Effectively made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview, and us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
So the fact that Uncle Ron spoke with that much confidence, knowing that Jay-Z and Beyonce could easily ruin his life for defaming them, that's what's got people side-eyeing the whole situation. Now, of course, the Behave wasted no time jumping in, calling Uncle Ron a liar, a clout chaser, and claiming he never worked as Beyonce's bodyguard. But here's the gag. According to Media Takeout, Uncle Ron actually did work security for multiple celebrities, and they dug up old photos from a 2004 fashion event showing Uncle Ron standing right next to Beyonce. And then some people also called out Uncle Ron for staying silent for years and accused him of riding the wave of all the Diddy drama and his ties to the Carters for clicks and attention. But Uncle Ron addressed that head on and claimed the only reason he didn't feel safe speaking up back then was because he had young children and feared for their safety.
So many people have asked me why I waited 20 years or so long to come out and start talking and telling about the things that have happened in the industry. The most important reason why is I had children, and I still have children. But at that point in time, they were young, and my number one priority was protecting my children. I care less about the stuff that went on in the industry at that point in time. For as money, it was never about money, and it's still not about money. I have money, but there's stories that have to be told. The truth needs to come out. A man lost his life. So much more went on. Physically have seen Diddy indulging in gay activities. I'm not bashing him, directly bashing him. I'm just telling the truth. He knows like I know. Gene knows like I know. Boo knows like I know. William knows. Bodyguards that were around him know. See, I had my own company, so I didn't need him. I didn't have to take his stuff. The bull crap that came along with being around Diddy.
And honestly, that explanation makes a lot of sense. There are people with way more power, money, and protection than Uncle Ron, who also stayed silent for decades about what they saw in that industry. So if even they were scared, it's not hard to believe a bodyguard would be worried about retaliation, especially knowing how easily powerful people can destroy your life without ever getting their hands dirty. What's also interesting is Uncle Ron said the real backlash didn't start until he brought up Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's when everything shifted, and suddenly, people were piling on him, calling him a liar, and trying to discredit everything he said. And honestly, that tracks. Because once you mention Beyonce, all bets are off. She's got one of the most aggressive, unhinged fan bases out there, and some of these people will defend her no matter what she does.
But see, when I started talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, oh, some toes will curl for sure. But hey, the truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. Yeah, I'm under investigation. So that's why I'm telling what I'm telling. Because now they have proof. I have physically showed them proof. Things that I have witnessed, things that was told to me. And yeah, of course, it's coming out. And I don't feel ashamed for saying what I've said or done what I've done. Because at the end of the day, I sleep good at night.
So the real question is, was Uncle Ron just making things up? Or was he speaking on a truth Beyonce and Jay-Z didn't want exposed? Well, y'all can decide that for yourselves. But what can't be ignored is this. Uncle Ron's death was suspicious as hell, and it happened shortly after his videos went viral and his allegations about the Carters started circulating. Uncle Ron passed away unexpectedly in September 2024, and the timing raised eyebrows, because it was right when people online really started digging into Jay-Z and Beyonce's friendship with Diddy. Uncle Ron's wife later confirmed the news on his official TikTok account and wrote, "I would like to inform everyone on TikTok of my husband's passing. Uncle Ron will always be remembered and loved." Now Uncle Ron's family has stayed completely silent when it comes to his official cause of death. They haven't confirmed anything. But things got even weirder when comedian Samson Crouppen claimed he heard from people close to Uncle Ron that he allegedly passed away after showing symptoms of pneumonia.
Patriots, I have this update just in. Someone in my comments, thank you, asked me, how did Uncle Ron die? I have some answers. Now, This is where it gets a little crazy. He died last month. He was only 59 years old, very young. Some people are whirling around that he died of that same pneumonia that Kim Porter had. Sounds a little bit shady. Sounds like maybe the diddler had him taken care of, because here's something real crazy.
Crouppen also said he tried reaching out to Uncle Ron's family to get more details about what really happened. But here's the thing. Every time people started asking questions in the comments on his TikTok, it looks like the family was deleting them. So now folks are left even more suspicious, wondering why no one's saying anything and what they might be trying to keep quiet.
I had myself and my people reach out to his family because his TikTok page is still active, and people in the comments are asking, what happened to Uncle Ron? What happened? What is the family doing? Deleting all of the comments. If you go over to Uncle Ron's TikTok page, try this, Patriots, I did it. Say, what happened to Ron? How did he expire? They delete your question. Why? Because they want to keep their family members safe and everyone else in their life that they care about, because the diddler is not done with his nastiness.
Now, the moment fans heard the word pneumonia, alarms went off everywhere. And that's because Uncle Ron is now the latest name in a long list of people connected to the industry who supposedly died from pneumonia, a condition that normally doesn't result in death unless there's some serious underlying health issue. And with Hollywood's history of shady deaths, you know people are connecting the dots. Diddy's ex Kim Porter's death at age 47 was ruled due to lobar pneumonia by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner. Same thing with actress Brittany Murphy and her husband Simon Monjack. The coroner ruled their deaths as caused primarily by pneumonia, with prescription medicine intoxication as contributing factors. Then there was actress Nicole DeHuff, known for her role in Meet the Parents. She died at age 30 after a misdiagnosed respiratory illness that was later identified as pneumonia. Even Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina's autopsy, listed lobar pneumonia as her cause of death, the exact same type of pneumonia that Kim Porter supposedly had. And then more recently, actor Val Kilmer also died from complications from pneumonia. Now look, I'm not saying all of these people were taken out, and yeah, we all know pneumonia can be dangerous. But here's the thing, you can't ignore how suspiciously common it is in Hollywood. Think about it. How many people do you know who were relatively young, healthy, and then suddenly drop from pneumonia? It barely ever happens in real life. Meanwhile, in Hollywood, it's like a pattern. So when fans heard that Uncle Ron also supposedly died from pneumonia, shortly after he started talking about receipts and old footage he allegedly had on Jay-Z and Beyonce, yeah, it's suspicious as hell. Alright, now let's circle back to Dave Chappelle. Remember when he had to escape to Africa after turning down that shady $50 million contract from Comedy Central? And while he was away, do you know what the network tried to claim happened to him? They pushed tabloid stories saying Dave had, you guessed it, pneumonia and had to leave. Dave later denied this, saying the real reason he went to Africa was because they were literally trying to convince him he was crazy and pressured him to take antipsychotic meds. But now, knowing what we know about how many celebrities mysteriously die of pneumonia, it really makes you think. Were all those tabloid stories about Dave suffering from pneumonia a way to prep the public? So that if something suspicious ever happened to him, they could just blame it on complications from pneumonia, and everyone would buy it. Now, of course, all of this is speculation, so you're free to make up your own mind. But let's be honest, it's getting harder and harder to ignore all these coincidences and weird patterns. That's not being a conspiracy theorist, that's just using common sense. But let me know what you think. Do you feel like there's something suspicious about Uncle Ron's death? And how do you feel about this whole pneumonia theory? Why does it seem like so many people in the industry keep dying from the same thing? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you don't miss the next video. And rest in peace to Uncle Ron.